Hi everyone, this is Anand from Team Amoeboids, and in today's video, I've got you a brand new feature to talk about. So, a few weeks ago, we released a new feature within our app, Automated Release Notes app for Jira, which was the ability to allow subscribers on your release pages. Yes, that was one of the frequently requested features by some of our power users who are already using the release page and widgets. And to begin with, we have now made it possible to allow subscription, or rather to allow subscribing for your customers, for your stakeholders directly from the release page. So let me jump right in. What I've done is on my screen, I've already navigated to one of our apps, or rather one of our Jira instances where the app is set up. And you'll notice this is release pages and widgets, right? This is what I've navigated. Now you'll notice there are a bunch of release pages and widgets already created. We are going to focus on something very specific, that is the ability to subscribe. How do you set up the release pages in such a way so that you can allow your customers, your stakeholders to subscribe to the release notifications right from the release page, and how do you set that entire thing up, right? So on the screen, you'll see, in addition to the release pages, you'll have this subscribers column. This was the addition from that feature enhancement, right? So what I've done is I've already opened up a couple of release pages. This is for the free version of our cloud app. And then you've got the DC variant of the release page for our app, Automated Release Notes, right? Now, one obvious difference that you might have noticed already is this version or this release page has this subscribe button. When I click on this button, it brings up the pop-up wherein I can put in my subscriber email address, or the email address to which I need to get notified, and the process happens. I'll talk about that in a moment. But when I go back to the earlier release page, it isn't here, right? So let us first understand, where do you configure this thing? So let me go to one of the release pages. Let me go to, let's say, this one, cloud free version. This was the one which did not have the subscribe button available on the screen. So rest of the release page configuration remains the same. We have created a few tutorials surrounding that. You can always look into those videos. In here, I'm going to focus on this specific section related to subscription, right? So you'll notice there are a bunch of configurations. Let's talk about these configurations one by one. First one is allow new subscribers. Now, this is the configuration that will allow the subscribe button to appear or disappear from the release page, right? So what I did is I just turned it on. Now that is not sufficient. I have to come down and click on save, right? Let it save, and it was saved successfully. You can see the success message. And now what I'll do is I'll change the tab, refresh it, because this was the release page that we made a configuration change on, right? So the subscribe button is now in here. That is now available. Now let's go back and understand the other configurations. So this first one, allow new subscribers, only allows that. It allows the viewers of that release page to subscribe using their email addresses. That's about it. However, in order to notify these subscribers of any new updates that are happening to your app, that is turned on using the second configuration. So mind you, you can have this configuration turned off, the first one which says allow new subscribers, but the second one turned on. What that will mean is you're not allowing new subscribers to sign up or to subscribe to that release page updates. However, the existing set of subscribers should continue to get those updates, right? Coming back to the second configuration that says send updates to subscribers. When you turn it on, the drop down immediately below that configuration becomes active. Here, you are supposed to pick up one of the email templates that you have created. Now, mind you, this is a different type of email template. This is not the email template that we already had right since the beginning. So if I were to go to the templates tab and click on create, let the screen load. When I click on create, I'll be brought to the screen to create a new template. However, in addition to the traditional email type of template, I'll also see a new type that is release page notification. This is the one we are referring to. So whatever released content that email notification is supposed to include, which will get delivered to your subscribers, that is determined through this release page notification type. So for example, this is again an email notification type, but it's a bit different in the way how it is integrated with different actions within automated release notes. So I'll just call this one, let me call it something meaningful. So maybe summary to release page subscribers, right? Now, when I scroll down, I'll be able to see a bunch of other things. I'll remove the Jira tag that's added in there. I'll be able to add the logo. I'll be able to add the relevant information. You'll notice by default, this one says we are back to let you know that there are new updates for so and so project. Version name, release date is mentioned, and to summarize, it also talks about number of issues that were included in that change. How many stories were there, how many bugs were there, and then the corresponding release page URL is also included. Now let me save this one. So I've saved it. Now what I'll do is I'll go back to the release pages and widgets tab. We were looking at the free one. I'll scroll down and you'll notice send updates to subscribers is turned off. Obviously, it wasn't turned on in the initial stage. I'll turn it on now. Then the drop down after that becomes available for me. I'll pick the template that we just created, summary to release page subscribers, and then I can define the send via email address, right? So you can send it via the default email address, or you can brand it and send it right from your own domain. This is possible only on the cloud version. Obviously, the entire release page feature itself is available only on the cloud version. Thus, the send via email feature. Now, once this happens, right, you've set this entire thing up. And what will happen is you've got the subscribe action. User will come in here. They will subscribe, right? As soon as they click on subscribe, after entering a valid email address, they will get a confirmation message. Let's give this a try. I'll try a temporary email service. And let me see if the emails are sent to that email address, and we will be able to validate the entire workflow. So I'll just call this one release page. So release page, I'll click on go, and that will bring me to the inbox for release page. And what I'll do is here, I'll say release page at millimeter.com. Right? I'll click on subscribe. I'm just crossing my fingers. Given that these are disposable email addresses, sometimes the emails do not arrive. But this time around, you'll already see the email has landed. It says confirm your subscription. It's coming from our release page. Thanks for subscribing to Automated Release Notes Cloud release page. You are almost done. We just need to confirm your subscription. In order to activate your subscription, please click on the below link. Now, what I want you to do is, I'll just go back to the listing. You'll notice, let me quickly change the tab so that the data reloads. What I want you to notice is the number of subscribers on the free page, on the free release page entry rather. You'll notice it still remains at 0. Here you'll notice there is that email address that we utilize, it's in state invited. Now, as soon as I confirm my subscription, it tells me subscription has been confirmed. I'll now go back and you'll notice the count of subscribers has updated. We now have 1 subscriber. This user will now get all of the notifications whenever something goes into that specific release. We'll also look at that. So here, I'll quickly display that configuration once again. We have said allow new subscribers. This should turn on once the page loads completely. It says send updates to subscribers. Apparently, I did not save it, so it wasn't there. So let me save it now. Summary to release page subscribers. Click on save. Update success. Just for the sake of it, let's quickly verify whether our configurations are saved. Okay, now that is turned on as expected, and you've also attached the release notification, right? Now, whenever there is a new release on this specific release page, the subscribed users will get an email notification. Let me show that to you quickly. So what I'll do is, let's look at AOS 4839. I don't know what that code is, but what I'll do is I'll change the action. Instead of having an email action, I'll say I want a release page action. So this is the release page action, and I want that to publish on the release cloud, automated release notes cloud free version. Now this is manual, so I'll just quickly run this as well, right? So maybe 18th of October, why not? So click on OK. Now, obviously we'll go to the logs page to see if the, okay, that failed. Since the JQL did not return any data, okay? Let's try a different version. Sorry about that. Maybe yes, 11th of October. 11th, right? It does have, I do recall, it does have a bunch of issues that should be returned by the JQL. So this one is in progress. Let's refresh it. It's successful. You'll notice it not only has the release page link, but also the subscriber email. Let me go back to the inbox of that email address that we have created, and you'll notice the new email. Automated release notes just got better with this new release. And here you'll notice there were 2 bugs included in the 11th of October release. You'll also see there is this link to the release page URL, right? So that is how you will be able to configure your release pages so that your end users, your stakeholders can subscribe to them, can release the updates whenever you add anything onto those release pages. And lastly, I'll quickly reiterate that the email template or the release notification template that we are using here, that is completely different from the traditional email template. Here you can configure something static, something dynamic. As long as you're keeping the release page content and the notification content in sync, you're all good. Hope that was helpful. Thank you very much.